Good evening. Welcome to the channel. And today we are doing part 4 in this MiniArt Stuart M3 build. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for an exciting edition. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to get into doing some painting. We've got these fuel tanks and some ammo boxes and various other things that we're going to stick to this double-sided tape that I've put on this tongue depressor, and we're going to be spraying them out with Mr. Color Super White. I've tried other whites during this process of building this kit, and I've settled on the Mr. Color Super White. This here is the control console that's to the right of the driver, that's mounted on the tunnel or the transmission part. So I'm going to have to glue those all together.
Alright, so I have primed these out with a Mr. Surfacer. I don't know, is it a red or I don't know what they call it. I don't think it's mahogany because that's a browner color. But that's all primed out because I'm going to maybe do a little bit of chipping. But you can see I've painted out all these other parts. So
here's a couple of little hoses that I have to paint out as well. I'll airbrush those.
we've got all of these things to stick onto that wall piece. I guess we'll start with this. I think I've still got some painting to do on it though. Yeah, I do. So let's get some of that green paint. I'm using this model color olive gray for some of these hoses. Somebody was saying that the call out for this radiator should be gray, but I think maybe the radiator could be gray, but in the photographs I've seen, these attachment points seem to be white. I'm just gonna paint the whole thing white for my initial build here, as it's gonna be pretty much straight out of the box. Okay, and then there's this one. Maybe I gotta touch it up. Okay, these holes here I don't believe are big enough for that. And I already tried using an X-Acto knife, but that didn't do it. So let's get out one of my drill bits. Out one. I think I need to make the holes a little bit bigger. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that one. There you go. All right. Okay, and this one, which I had on facing the wrong way last time you saw it, but I've taken it off. This one here, he goes in there. All right. All right. I'll come back and touch up this with a silver. Okay. And then on the other side, we've got this radiator. All right, plop that on there. Well,
So at this point, I decided that I wanted to paint the straps that are holding the fire extinguisher a silver color. So I'm going to spend the next while masking out for these. I'm showing you this because it's part of the build process, but in the end I ended up changing all of this for the fire extinguisher. I ended up painting the fire extinguisher a red, and these straps I made a white because that seemed to be the more logical way to go. But I'm just going to include this because it does show the process I went under during the build. All right, so we're back from the paint shop and we've got these bands painted out like as if they're a metallic silver. So let's take off that masking tape and see what we've got.
So I've clamped this radiator down, and yeah, if I were to do it again, I would glue this down when everything was still just basic plastic. Same with this one. All right, well, let's take a look at this fire extinguisher that I forgot to put on. Now it says it should be red, but I don't know. I've seen a photograph of the one, and okay, I think I'm going to paint this white and then paint it red. Because when you're painting red and yellow, to get a true red and yellow, you need to have white as a primer. And I gotta paint this Tommy gun as well. All right, well, there's a couple of, I'm not sure what this is, but I know this is a cushion and this is a cushion. So I'm gonna need to mask those off and paint them the olive drab color. So as usual, I'm gonna cut myself some really small skinny strips. And all right, well, we've got the Mr. Color Olive Drab number 2 sprayed on there. Amazing how much I even got over spray down here. Oh well, I'll touch that up. Yeah, you get lazy with your masking, and that's what happens. All right, well, I swear from here on out in my modeling career, I shall mask everything. Okay, so we've got some more pipage. We got the CA8. CA8. And what else? I'm gonna add this now. So this is a bit tricky here. This hose has got to go into that hole, and it's a bit tricky. Oh, I keep doing that where it's just... I wonder if I should just drill those out more. Save me from wrecking this. All right. Gently. Okay. There's a... Okay, I think I'm going to use an elastic band here. That's not going to work. It keeps wanting to move that way. So I need to clamp that down somehow. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Damn. Well, you know what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these side pieces and use them to align this bulkhead. Okay, so that's gonna sit like that for at least 24 hours. Okay, so I'm gonna use this Model Air because I find it a very good metallic for using a brush with. So now I want to paint this gauge. All right, well, I've got these ammunition boxes. They weren't looking that great, so again, I've repainted them, so I'll have to paint out the cushions again, but that's okay. So I take this apart and see if everything is going to stay in place, that rear bulkhead. There we go. That's great. This is a fire extinguisher, and I'm not sure it needs to be white. I was going along with the call-outs in the instruction sheet for the most part, but I've seen some photographs where it seems to be a darker color, which would kind of make me think it's a red color. But whatever. So let's slap this fire extinguisher in place. All right. Okay. Sweet. So this thing goes in there.
Yeah, this box, I'm not sure what's contained in it, but it's got these two little tabs that are supposed to fit on these other two tabs that are on the bulkhead, and they are pretty minimal contact area. So you're just going to have to be aware of that. Maybe take a good look at it before you start painting anything or gluing anything. Just really eyeball it and check it out and see what you think.
I'm going to, this fire extinguisher, the straps apparently are supposed to be white. So I'm going to take a little of this Tamiya tape. That I've sliced.
Here I'm using some masket to block out this area because it was just too many compound curves for the tape. So just using another tool to get the job done.
Okay, there's a bit of an issue with these. I wish they didn't design it so that these things were up, because you can't easily mask these off. I mean, I guess maybe you can paint them by hand, but it might have been better if they had provided these seat pads as separate. All right. This time I took no chances with the masking. All right. So that looks good. All right, so the smaller box can go, I don't know if it matters. Right. That looks pretty good, eh? All right, so that's in. So this one here has been taped off, and I'm going to paint it gray. I'm going to clean these two spots here of paint. All right. So DB18 is going in. I believe this is where they store their sandwiches for lunch. All right. So then this one goes in. And you can tell which way because there's a little bit of a curve there. All right. Uh,
Okay, I just glued that little storage tank into place. But if I were you, I would hold off until near the end when it's further along, because while I was handling it and everything, the fingers inevitably just moved it and knocked it around and knocked it off, and I had to glue it maybe 3 or 4 times. And yeah, to avoid that mess, just if I were you, just glue it on later. So yeah, these little
no,
storage boxes, the little tabs, it's a really tricky fit, but you can do it. It's just it's not such a positive connection.
this is a really tight fit, this thing here.
I'm not sure if they could have maybe designed that part a little bit better, but
Yeah.
I did manage to get it in place, and it's looking great.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Might be better to put this one in before you put that one in. It's a very tight fit. All right. I guess that's it right there. All right. You almost don't need any glue. Ay, ay, ay. This engineering for this box could have been a little bit better. It's kind of wonky, but whatever. Not going to stress about it. Have to touch up that fire extinguisher, I guess. So next up is the control panel or gauges, where all the gauges are. All right, there we go. This will have to go right here. How does that go? It goes to the front. All right, so that's there. And that goes like that. I don't know how I do it, but I do it every time. I must be getting dyslexic in my old age.
We're not ordinary people. We're morons.
Because, yeah, I put that on the wrong way again. Oh, well. C'est la guerre, vive la mort. All right, so that goes like that. That should be whiter, but whatever. Ugh. Well, it appears that somebody's doing some yard work. There we go. All right. Well, there's a few more parts here to paint up for the rear engine area. On there, like I mentioned, I'm gonna glue this one on. Okay. Add that pipage. I guess I'll need to paint that. Can't believe that thing. Hmm. All right, so we'll take these into the paint booth and get them ready.
I'm just going to prime it out with this. This is the white I'm using for the final coat.
Alrighty then, I guess this is where we'll wrap this video up, and next episode we'll start dipping into working on the engine, which is a kit in itself. It's a beautifully detailed rendering of the aircraft radial engine that actually powered this vehicle back in the day. Anyhow, thanks for joining me, and hopefully you'll come back and check out the next video. But in the meantime, and in between time, that's another edition of Jet Scale Models. You all come back now, you hear?